It is April 3rd, 2022. Now, this is really interesting. They're talking about January 6th investigation. I did not realize that President Biden has a black backing of some sort, an African backing of some sort, some whatever, that he has an institution and a learning thing that him and his sister, I think they called her Valerie, does in Delaware, I think is where they said that they were out of, or where he was a senator. They were showing today, Sunday morning, some of his backstory. I mean, again, I'm in New York. I don't get, like, family newsletters. I don't get Christmas cards. I don't even get a hand to hold at this point. So I'm going with what's told to me on the machine. So if that's the case, I heard on another program something about showing some form of impartial, like I was mentioning this morning about Carlito's Way. See, now in my instance, there's a real separation because I have a genetic partiality and a genetic bias because my genetic is being harmed. And I'm in an area where they cannot discern whether it's a biological ingested product or whether it's and that's intrinsic or an extrinsic interaction between cellulite, electrolyte, and however that interaction works. That's my personal whatever in privy. Or private. I'm trying to keep private, but it's very difficult because it's hard to find good family members these days in New York because of socioeconomic and political climate that's been going on. But now on here, the New York Times let out a statement, said something about Biden and Trump, because, they're keeping it looks like they're trying to keep to their bipartisan lines. Like one represents something and the other represents something in whatever, to uphold some other portion of whatever it is that they know of that I'm not privy to because I'm not at presidential level, or I haven't ever been in the White House. I don't even think I visited the White House. I don't think I was given an opportunity or in that vicinity. So that was interesting. So tonight's April 3rd, and they're mentioning it on the nightly news. Oh, God, it hurts to move. My bones are cracking. That's the world news tonight. That it's not David Muir, even though it's David Muir is usually the one in this hour. It's this woman, whoever she is. I don't know. I don't have a name at the bottom. But this is...
App is now saying.
Tonight, as some Democrats criticized the Justice Department and the Attorney General for seeming reluctance to prosecute those behind the efforts to overturn the 2020 election, the New York Times now reporting that as recently as late last year, President Biden confided to his inner circle that he believed former President Donald J. Trump was a threat to democracy and should be prosecuted, according to two people familiar with his comments. The Times adding that the president has never communicated his frustrations directly to Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Now, this is an interesting, while I'm watching this unfold, as I'm paying attention to certain things that they're highlighting by myselfness. I don't even know if using the word dissidence is a good thing, because I don't know what people's prejudice to that word is. But impartiality, whatever, it it would appear in this instance that if it came down to whatever, and one was representing one side, one was representing the other side of an argument, it puts pressure on Biden, because how does Biden ever protect his mental status, or he has two sons, I think they said this morning. How does he protect his genetics in a secure fashion should he come under attack? If there's this layer of not being able to speak on certain things because it might interfere with, again, there's a whole lot of movement and shift into an area that's a growing existential whatever that does not help some of the other issues. In collateral damage is the word that one of the movie producers had used, in a lateral sense, on like a horizontal plane. But that's where sometimes the theoretical, there is a gap. So that's a really interesting dilemma. As to, like, I mean, and then as a whatever, I mean, you want to show support for the person that's in charge, but I have a issue, and it's a very real issue, but then there's these other obligations that should not affect his presidential ability to get help for, I mean, especially at like the BA.1, BA.2 level of a pressurized system that's going to affect everybody. I mean, this is like putting stuff under a microscope. And it's just like, talking out loud, but I don't know how to protect myself and my kids with other people having these agenda priorities, which are a necessity, but at this point, because of what's got to be handled in some other fashion, but there's got to be some level of protection while trying to traverse this level of conversation or this level of whatever. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.